Player I loved. We can go through this quick. It goes without saying, Dalton Connect. I mean, it started over the weekend, Saturday. He had a huge game. And then on Tuesday night, had 37. And then last night, followed that up with 17 and 4. I mean, just this week, he's been 19 of 30 from the field, 12 of 19 from 3. And for the year, 52% from the field, 46% from 3, 92% from the line. We are, not yet a quarter of the way through the season, but he's a 50, 40, 90 guy through the first, 15, 16 games of his career, which is crazy.
He got a corner 3 last night. Then the arena was just already erupting before he caught the ball. It's just like there's a hush over the crowd. There's just this anticipation that it's going to go in. He's going to have one of these nights. He's really captured everybody on the team. I have one note for Dalton Connect, which is going to be very helpful for me and for others watching. You cannot have the same height, same build, same hair color, same skin tone, and also have a one-legged black compression pant like Florence Griffith Joyner, because Austin Reeves also has all of those things. My TV is not that big, so I'm watching it. They both have one-leg compression, and it's not like, they're both white guys. They both have pretty much the same hairstyle, because I don't get the details because of Dalton's are a little curlier or whatever, but they've got the same build, the same weight, same height, same game, same uniform, and they both have one black compression leg on. It's too much. I need something. It's like when you have
to
twin
differentiate
babies.
them.
Yeah, when you have twin babies, you tie a string around one's wrist or something. It's like they need to do something. Tyler Hero's probably the same height. He's also white. I'll never get Tyler Hero and Dalton Connect confused. But Austin Rivers and Dalton Connect, they're just too identical on the court.
Austin
Please
Reeves,
do
you said
something.
Austin Rivers.
No, Austin Reeves, yeah.
The
Shout
Ringer's
Austin Rivers. Yeah. Austin Reeves is who I meant.
By the way, just want to say, I've seen now three of these guys in person. One of them I saw in Summer League. There was a run in this last year's draft, something you shouted out a couple weeks ago about how some of these rookies have been better than you thought. There was a run from 14 to 17.
Oh, yeah.
That looks pretty damn great right now. Bub Carrington, who I shouted out, who I like. Khalil Ware, who has not gotten run for Miami, but I think is going to be a real player, and I loved what I saw from him at Summer League as an athletic big for this style of NBA. And then McCain, and then Connect.
And McCain is the most effective player on a team that has Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid.
I mean, 14 through 17 is looking pretty damn good from last year's draft, for sure. All right. Player you loved.
Player I loved, and this is happiness is a function of expectations, like I always said. And obviously, I went through a gamut of emotions with the Karl-Anthony Towns trade. I was not sad to see Julius Randle go. I love Dante DiVincenzo, but I had questions about Cat fitting in. I had faith that Tibbs, having worked with him for years before, had a plan for this. And I was concerned about the defense. I was concerned about his personality. I was concerned about the Knicks having this hard-nosed identity, sort of like your grit and grind Grizzlies. And I didn't feel that Cat necessarily fit into that. I had concerns about his personality, his sort of authenticity, for lack of a better word, and his toughness on the basketball court. And I have been so happy with Karl-Anthony Towns on the New York Knicks. Brunson has not been gangbusters to start off the year, but just that game against the Suns this week is, everyone talks about his shooting, right? Everybody talks about how, it stretches the floor. He's shooting 50% from 3. Again, like Dalton Connect, it won't last. It'll come back to earth. But he's shooting 50% from 3. That's on 5.3 attempts per game. Not 2 attempts per game. 50% from 3, right? But with Nurkic, they kind of mid-post him, and he'll back someone down 3 dribbles and then turn over his shoulder, get to the hoop, or turn over his shoulder and hit a fadeaway. If you cannot put a small on him, because he will punish that. And he could pick and pop, and he could pick and roll. But with Nurkic, there's a couple times he went through him. There's a couple times he went around him. Now, again, Nurkic isn't exactly, defensive player of the year candidate, but he's a big man, and Karl-Anthony Towns was aggressive, and he was getting his shoulder into him. And he was doing it from inside and out. And he was, I think it was like 3 for 8 from three, which he didn't light it up, but he either like took threes or took really, really good sort of 8-footers, or he was at the rim. And he did it with strength. And my guy, Tim Bontemps, former colleague, love that dude. He had the stat like a week ago. You saw the stat? It was like, you know,
if they're shooting 100%,
yeah, they're shooting 150%. He might as well just like not be there. Then it's hard to argue with like an objective number. But I follow a bunch of like Knicks accounts, and that number has come back down to earth a little bit. Something tells me that found his mentions. But again, like it's easy to say like, oh, the player I love was the guy who scores 30 points a game for my favorite team. But it's really about what I expected versus what I'm getting, and it is still a work in progress.
Well, and I do think if you're a Knicks fan, what you hold on to is it's a Tibbs team. The defense will come around. We certainly expected them to be a defensive team. Right now, the Cavs are the best offense in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Knicks are 2.
Well, let's not also forget, and again, this is a bit delusional because I have a lot of reservations about how effective Mitchell Robinson is as a center in the NBA. But I'll say this. Remember, the former team that Karl-Anthony Towns was on when he was the center, they traded the farm, the barn, and like one of their kids to bring in Rudy Gobert because they needed Rudy Gobert next to Cat to get their defense to the next level, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like when Mitchell Robinson comes back in spells, they'll have that kind of like twin tower duo that can cover up for a lot of things that Cat doesn't do on defense against certain matchups.
Player that I loathed, Tyrese Halliburton. 2 games this week. They lost by 11 to Toronto on Monday. Then they went and got their ass kicked by Houston by 17. He was a combined 6 for 25, 3 for 14 from 3. For the season, he is shooting 38% from the field, 28% from 3. And we're only like 15, 16 games in. He's had a 0, 4, 6, and 9 point games. This guy was all NBA last year. Like,
this time last year, he was like the best player in the league.
We went to Vegas for the in-season tournament. Every damn billboard had Tyrese Halliburton on it.
Oh, do you know? I don't know if you've seen it yet, but they're going to edit him out of the NBA Heist commercial somehow. They're going to use AI. They're going to edit him out of it. They're going to put Dalton Connect in. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to do it. You know,
just totally bizarre. Totally bizarre.
It's not because it felt like last year there was very much a pre and post injury Halliburton, right? And it was a stark difference. And what I said to myself is someone who rooted very hard against this man, and he's not my favorite personality in the National Basketball Association. I'll just say that.
It is crazy. The one great game he's had this year was probably the Knicks game.
Yeah,
right?
It was. But I really felt like, given the off season and the Olympics experience, that he would come back to form from a year ago. But instead, he has come back to form by that post-injury Halliburton. And I don't really see any answers. He seems healthy, right?
I mean, yeah, but again, you know, post-Olympics, we saw him with the 3 white chicks at 5 a.m. congratulating 50 Cent. We just got in from the club. I mean, that's just not a... I mean, I think it's tough to have a video out there going, we just got back from the club. Congratulations, 50 Cent. You've always been down with me. And then go out and like the first quarter of the season shoot less than 40% and 30% from 3. I think people are going to rightfully question your commitment.
It's interesting. I don't have a fix. Like if you look at someone like Maxey, or like we talk about Maxey and Bede and George, like they're all kind of coming back from injury, new teams, this and that. Like their roster's been pretty consistent from last year to this year. He had a whole summer to get right.
The one thing I'll say as an excuse for them is their schedule is raw. If you go look at it, I mean, there's not a lot of Portland, San Antonio,
like
Utah,
Washington trips.
No.
Yeah.
It's like you look at their schedule and it's like Orlando and like at Charlotte or something will be like one of those where it's like, oh, okay, that's probably winnable. But then it'll be like the Knicks and the Celtics and the Cavs. You're like, damn, man, their schedule at the beginning of this has been tough. So maybe it'll come around, but they better hope so. But this guy was supposed to be a superstar.
Oh, yeah.
All NBA level performer, and he has been a dud Who's the player?
It's been weird for them this year, man. I don't see them turning it around.
Player you loathe.
Okay. So this is personal a little bit. I've always kind of not liked this guy. I don't know why. His last 3 games, he's 1 for 3 from 3, 0 for 4 from 3, 1 for 7 from 3. One of the sort of like key points to his turnaround, the team's turnaround, is him losing his starting job. And the last time he was in the news because JJ Redick was giving him credit for Dalton Connect scoring 37 points. And I'm talking about DAngelo Russell.
Oh,
and
wow.
Last night, I'm watching this game. And he's 1 for 7 from 3, right? And I was like, there's something in my heart where I was like, he is wrong tonight. So I went back, and you can watch all of his 3-point attempts on NBA.com. It's a very nice feature. The first one is wide open at the buzzer. Naked. Missed. Second one on the wing. Again, swing, naked. Like not even a hand in the air around him. Missed. Then he takes a contested step back, hits that one. Now he's opening the corner, missed. And this is when it gets weird. He ball fakes the defender away from him. Air ball, short. The next one, air ball, long. And then the last one was just short. 2 straight air balls in a tight game at home on open threes.
This is the guy that JJ Redick said he talked to the most.
Yeah.
In the offseason to get
because
ready
he wants to talk
year.
to him a lot now because he's not going to be able to talk to him after they trade him. So he wants to get it all in early. That's what's really happening.
How about another theory? Bro, don't evaluate DAngelo Russell until post-trade deadline because he just plays like this until he knows he's not going to get traded. And then once the trade deadline passes, he turns into a different player. That's what happened last year.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because if you were trying to trade someone, I don't know if taking them out of the starting rotation is a way to feature them.
Right. No, I know.